Welcome back. Happy Monday. We are here for the final hour. It is January 13th. Let's see what happens here for the last 58 minutes. I have an SPX butterfly. It's a skip strike or a broken butterfly that is pinned at 58.30. Right now, price is trading at 58.23. So going to keep a close eye on this one for the next 58 minutes, but possibly in the next 30 minutes, we'll see if this is trading for either zero or possibly showing some additional credits. If I build this trade out in my risk graph, let me show you what this looks like. So today it has 3 legs. We are selling the middle. It is the 13th expiration. It is a 58.30 guts, 58.30, 58.25, and a 58.45. Buy, sell, buy. Perfect. Okay. So this is the trade right now. This is live price in the dotted line. If we see price go just a little bit higher, we're currently trading at 58.23, 58.24. If we start getting up into our profit trap, there is a chance that I can close this out. So I took it in for a 50-cent credit, and that's actually right here. So this was a 50-cent credit when I executed the trade earlier today. If we fall lower, then it remains at 50 cents. If we go a little bit higher, you can see that I'm getting into my profit trap. Today is the 0 DTE, so I'm watching to see how this real P&L, grows and eventually becomes like the trap. But this usually happens within the last 45 minutes, the last 30 minutes of trading. The perfect trade would be all the way at the pin price at close at 4 p.m. and this thing cash settles, which obviously is a very difficult thing to do. Right. So if I see this trading for 50-cent credit and I can see it closing at 50-cent credit, I might just take the profit early and then watch and wonder and hope could I have done, like a $5 credit, which is probably best if I just let it cash settle. But the reason this is tricky is because if we go over by 5 points, then I end up taking some risk on the trade. So at 58.35, I start taking on some risk. Okay. And if we get to 58.40, that's where the risk comes in, and that's no bueno. So I'd like to see price stay. Current price is fine. We're trading right now at break even. If we close where we are, I'll just keep my 50 cents. If we go up a little bit towards the 58.30, I'm looking to see how that profit trap starts to pay out here in the last 55 minutes or so. Okay. So plan is I'm just going to let this trade sit for a second and let it marinate. I'll watch it on my other screen, and this is what I'm going to be watching. So I'll just be watching the real price, and I suppose I can move my broker platform over as well and see what the credits are looking at, and we'll talk about some other stuff. So let me set another chart alarm at 58.30, and that is my broken wing butterfly pin price. See if it gets there late in the day. We'll see if that's crossing. So anything greater than 58.25 is potentially some bonus cash. So it's going to be close, but I don't want to get too cute with this thing. If I can close it out for an extra profit, I'm going to close it out for an extra profit. So pretty straightforward. We had a pretty interesting day. We gapped lower from Friday's close. Market spent all day grinding back. News here. U.S. yields remain elevated, mixed intraday. We still have PPI, CPI this week. I talked about those in earlier sessions. Let's go to the calendar this week. So Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be your PPI and CPI information that comes out at 8:30 a.m. So this little chunk of data right here. So 8:30 is the block U.S. news on Tuesday. This is tomorrow morning pre-market. So opening bell will occur. The market will be digesting the producer price index, and the previous print 3%, forecasted 3.4. Previous print 3.4, forecasted 3.7. So the year-over-year core PPI and year-over-year PPI is forecasted to be up by quite a bit. And that means that, producers looking to pay more money for things, looking to pass it on to consumers. And this is why the inflation story continues to be fed, right? And this is why the U.S. yields are going higher. This is the first time in I'd say the last 40, 50 years that the Fed cycle, as the rates have been cut by the Fed, the yield markets are doing the exact opposite. Rarely, if ever, has that happened. So, really interesting scenario. I don't know if that's a byproduct of the, deep, long inverted yield curve that's now disinverted. I don't know if that's just a byproduct of the bond market showing that they're calling the Fed's bluff and a misstep and miscalculation of monetary policy. But we have data this week that, again, I mean, technically speaking, where is this market likely headed? Unless this is like a little bit of a bear trap and this market's going to head back up again, there's still some room to flush lower. And it wouldn't surprise me, and this is why I was doing a lot of cleanup trades today in my live sessions. I've logged 76 trades today, and daily profit play, waterfall income, and a lot of like closed out trades. I took some. I'm trying to think. I took some assignment over the weekend on SPY, so I closed out that for a 65-cent loss. I took two other losses on the SPY for a 60. It's net like 62 to 65-cent loss. I closed out the Qs for a small loss, and there's still some time in the remaining trades that I have. We put some fresh trades in today at this nice little discount. But when I'm looking to get more aggressive, in this area between the 144 and the 200 would be like the near term aggressive. Like I'd be a little bit more bullish in that window. Okay. In that same window, I would say from this 144 moving average down to the structure, which would be all these previous lows, there's a good bouncing point right around this 540 handle. So if we happen to see a move, oh boy, we're at 27 now. Come on, butterfly. Come on, butterfly, you can do it. Don't do too much though. All right, want to keep a close eye on this one. So my pin price is 58.30. I don't want to see price get too much higher than 58.30. A little rejection here is totally fine. Okay, a little rejection is totally fine. If it hangs out here right around that pin price, so greater than 58.25, but less than 58.30, I know that's extremely precise for the SPX, but if I'm there, that is my profit trap. Okay, so it is within 5 points. We'll see what price does. Right now, I'm trading at about a 65-cent mid. So I'm still upside down if I close out the trade about 10 to 15 cents. If I give it a little bit more time, and the nice thing about SPX is it's cash settling. So as long as we stay, either less than 58.25, it's profit. If we stay between 58.25 and 58.30, that's profit trap. We'd have to go to 58.35 or 58.40 to start taking on risk. So there's still a little bit of wiggle room here, and I'll keep a close eye on this one. All right, so let's talk levels. This is where I'd be looking to get more aggressive. I'm just going to mark this. Let's go 144 to this area here. And I'm going to mark this in, let's go light blue. So I'll put here bullish dip territory. Okay, so if we get a nice little dip on the SPY, if we get a nice little dip, I'll go 140. This one has a little bit more volatility potential, but 144 down to this structure area. There's a 492 gap fill for the election on the NASDAQ or the QQQ. This would be bullish dip territory. So I'm not looking, I don't have to be like super precise, but between these two, bullish dip territory, this is why I'm not being crazy aggressive right now. Now, I will say this, if the market this week with PPI, CPI, if we close back above these lows, I think this market finds a way to grind back up towards highs. We might end up having a tricky little broadening pattern up here where we can expect a lot of volatility, which is never going to be a super fun trade, or we will see if price, after another gap lower and failing to find this gap close, this is now resistance. I mean, I've got to say it, like the NASDAQ looks, unless we get back above 510, this to me looks like we are now in a bit of a correction slide. I wouldn't say bear market, but I'd say correction slide. We have pulled back around 7% on the NASDAQ. So from high to low, we're about 7.24%. Currently with open price, we're about 6.45%. So we've hit about a 7+% correction on the NASDAQ, 5+% correction on the S&P. Dow is down about 7% as well. We're pulling back a little bit. So right in here on the Dow, 7.28% was the high to low. Current levels on the Dow were about 6.3, 6.4% back. Again, decent little spot on the 200 moving average. I'll put a correction. I'll change this to that same blue that I used earlier. Would this be Dow and then bullish dip territory? Okay. And then Russell, I took a close look at the Russell this morning. We're just around that 200 moving average on the daily time frame. I kind of like the Russell. I mean, I don't love it. I would say this one, if the broader index like the S&P and the Qs go lower, the Russell's probably going to be under some pressure here. So I'm not necessarily looking to get bullish on this one, but if we make a run back up to these levels, then we might be looking at a bit of a bullish play on the small caps. I'd almost rather see this thing fall a little bit lower, anything at 200. And I do have a ratio spread on IWM. I'm willing to take on some shares at 200, work the cost basis lower, but I thought that'd be a pretty healthy discount. If we go from this high all the way down to any type of ownership price, I get assigned at 190, and I'd own it around what? I get assigned at 190 minus the 5. I'd own it at like 184. So there'd be almost a 25% discount on the IWM. I'm not saying that's, oh my gosh, that's a guaranteed profit, but that's a pretty nice discount to then look to see if all of these past resistance offer some support. And does this thing get back up into, the goal would be if I take on shares, I got to be willing to lower my cost basis down to like 170. How do I do that? I sell a call, buy a put, and go out probably 45 to 60 days. If we go up, I get a call away for profit. We go down, I just work the cost basis lower, right? But we'll see if this area holds. Hold overnight. There is no overnight, Papa John. It's a 0 DT, so it's gonna expire at the end of the day. So 4 p.m. it's gonna cash settle. I'm watching it right now. It's trading for 40 cents. So I'm up a little bit of profit. Basically the peak, and you must have come in a little bit late. Yes. So here's the trade. This is live price. The dotted line's live price. If we come into the profit trap, we are nearing that final little leg. So it's going to happen fast. All I'm really looking for on my end is, does this turn into a credit? Does this turn into a credit? So 50 cents credit was the initial trade. Does this turn into, if you can see, 25 cents credit, 50 cents credit, if you can see anything like $1 credit, I'm going to close it. My max profit would be $5. Okay. The only way I'm going to achieve $5 on this one is at 4 p.m. At literally 4 p.m., this is sitting exactly at 58.30. So the probability of that trade is super, super rare or low probability. But anything less is still keep the 50 cents. Anything in the profit trap, I'm looking to take some extra profit and extra credit. So I'll close it out today before the session's over. The only way I'm not going to manage the trade is if price is down here. Then I don't have to do anything at cash settles. But if price is in here, you got it for $1.60? Well, heck, dude, you're already up like 80 to 90 cents then. Good for you. Okay. Yeah, if you got it for $1.60, you're killing it compared to my entry. So the good thing is I'm getting into that profit trap right now. I need a little bit more time decay. Don't be crappy here. I'll keep an eye on this one. So I need to float this back out. I'll keep an eye on this screen. My broker is on my other screen. So I'm watching the debits and credits on my other screen. I've got the live price. Let's keep working away. So IWM March, that one's fine. Let's see, what's the IWM? I want to see what the implied volatility is on this right now. So IV, let me go to Schwab. See if I can find an IVX here. Okay, I'm gonna look at IWM. Just give me 30 seconds. Because what I might look at doing is putting out like a April or May ratio spread or some type of income trade. So trade, let me go to options chain on IWM. Okay, range. Let me see here. So change percent, implied volatility. There we go. Okay, bid, ask, delta. These prices are awful. So bid, ask, implied volatility, open interest, volume change, delta. There we go. Let's try this. That looks a little bit better. Okay. There we go. So now the implied volatility, it's probably somewhere in like the 35 to 36%. Let me see. The IVX or the IV rank on SPX IWM is 33.4. Come on, profit trap. All right. We're in the zone. Don't be too snaky on us. So 1, 2, 3, close. Okay. Not seeing any credits yet. Come on now. All right, we got 40 minutes till the close. Perfect price for us would be 58.30. But considering it's so late in this move, like right now it's like we're 58.29. It's like we're right at the profit trap. But my price isn't showing that right now. So my biggest concern is that if we go too far this way, we start to take on some heat. So I want to see a little bit of a rejection, or just as we come to the final, 40 minutes of trading, I need this to probably be in the last maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes. If it's in the profit trap, then we should start to see some live P&L. So, all right, keep an eye on it. I'll be watching it. There's still risk to trade. Hitting 50, 58 again. Going off. All right. Price. Don't be a real jackhole. A little choppiness over 3-4 points would be really nice. Little choppiness right here would be really nice. We start pushing higher, then we're pushing risk. Stay in here or giving us a little bit of a push down towards like 58.26, that'd be pretty sweet. Let's see. So it's price sensitive and time sensitive as we're watching it right now. Okay, I'll keep an eye on it. So IWM, anything out to, let me look at the expirations. So if I did, don't want that one, don't want that one, don't want that one. Let's go out here. Let me get some more option chains. Expirations over the next 120 days. It's got to be more than just, there we go. So there's my March 31st, which I think I already have this trade on. March 31st, I already have that trade in. So would I consider an April 17 or a May? I don't mind May. If I went to May, look at my deltas. Let's go all strikes. So current price is around 216. So if I go to a put side, 20 delta, if I buy the bid ask, the heck? This menu looks like crap. I want the bid ask right here next to the puts anyway. If I buy the 20 delta, so I can buy that, and then I would add, that's a 196. I could add like a 193. Gosh darn it. So add a leg. So if I buy the 196 and then I sell the 193 and then I sell another 190. So right now I could get 247 bucks for that trade. That's not a bad, I mean, that's a good income trade. If I have to be willing to take on some shares and assignment of IWM, ownership price would be 190 minus 3 minus the 2. Bid ask mid at 298. There we go. There's mid at 246. So if I took this trade, so 190 minus 5 minus 2.45, I'd own some shares of IWM at 182.55. I mean, 182.55 is not bad considering there's really strong support here around 170. So I think I'm going to take that trade. Broken Wing is now down to a 15-cent debit, looking better and better. But again, this trade for me, I'm probably just going to let this one go as close to closing bell as possible, because if we come back up into the profit trap, the closer we get to 4 p.m., the more this profit trap becomes a reality. So if we're here or lower, we'll just keep it, let it cash settle for 50 cents. If we start to come back into the profit trap, then we have additional credits to look at. So I'm just going to let that one hang out. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to move over to the IWM and look at that trade for May. Let me check the difference between IWY is my growth Russell and IWX is my value Russell. Again, both have been hit up a little bit harder. Value's been beat up way worse than growth. IWM itself, I mean, the only thing I'm not loving about IWM is that it is just loaded with unprofitable companies. So, I mean, I would hope that unprofitable companies find a way to fight back and to become more profitable. I don't think we can just have large cap continue just to crush small caps. So I just think with the potential value, that's why I was long through most of 2024. Just because I thought this trade had an opportunity to catch up and find the highs again, which it did. So anyway, I don't mind the trade 196 by 193 by 190. And let me see if I can get that trade in right now. So 196, I was out to May. IWM out to May. That's May 16th. If I were to buy the 196, sell the 193, sell the 190. Yeah, about 250 on the income side. Willing to take on some shares. And 247 of income. So hopefully I get filled at the bid price is 240, so I should get 247. I'm going to try it right now. And let's see if this one fills. 247 is pending, not filling. 246. Got filled at 246. No problem on that. $246 still pending on one account. 245 filling. 245 filling. Okay, so that is a 5/16 expiration. Buy 196 put, sell the 193 put, and sell the 190 put. 2.45 credit. little bit higher implied volatility. Goes a long ways. There's about a 17% chance of assignment on that trade. Probability of profit is around 86%. So let me get this one drafted up here. Move my broker platform over. So I just got filled at 245. Put this into my tracker now. So IWM. I'm going after a 516. All right. So I bought the 196 put. Sell the 193 put. Sell the 190 put. 2.45 credit. I have an 86% pop on this one for probability of profit. I've got 247 on the tail credit. I got a max profit at 545. 545 is my profit trap. And assignment risk is about 15 to 17%. Okay. And then strong support around 170 or so on the IWM. 170. So if I own shares at 188, I'd be willing to kind of repair, keep an eye on this one, but hopefully 170 is about as low as we go. Okay, so I'm going to add this into my Pulver alerts. This is under index trades, IWM, 516 expiration, buy the 196 put, sell the 193 put, and then sell the 190 put. $545 profit trap, but an 86% probability of profit, but a 15% chance of assignment. This is another income play on the index. I am willing to own the IWM shares and repair for profit. Major support at 170. Okay. And I'll take another screenshot right here. Okay, screenshot's in, IWM is in. Trade is filled. All right, not too shabby. Let's have a look at everything today. Let's go to Tasty IVR, liquidity, high option volume, liquid symbols, sectors. Let me check something really quickly here. So we're looking pretty solid. Risk graph. All right, so far that broken wing butterfly is now trading for like a 10-cent debit, which I'm not going to close it out for a debit. So here's, get this out of the way. I was looking to see what type of IV I had. Futures, earnings, go to all earnings. What's popping up here for earnings? Earnings on the 22nd. What's near term? We got BlackRock earnings this week. We have Citigroup this week, JP Morgan this week, Wells Fargo this week. Is that Schwab? Yep, Schwab this week. So we got some earnings to take a look at. I might look at some liquidity levels for tomorrow. So 115 earnings, that is out to Wednesday. So I'll see what these look like. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but the 115, 116 earnings, it's a nice little, recap of like, okay, there's some stocks to be watching. At least see if there's any good levels I could trade. All right, so keep a close eye on that. Go back to my SPX trade from this morning. There's the trade right there. It's no longer, everything's out of the money right now, which is fine. If I look to close this out, right now it's trading at, I've got extra credit on this one. Good. All right, let me see if I can grab 20 cents credit. 20 cents net credit. So see if I can get an extra 15 cents credit, and I'll just take the profit. So I already took it in for 50 cents credit. I'm trying to close it out for extra credit, so they give me a net 65 cents if I close it out for 15 cents right now. But the nice thing is let's go back to my broken wing. Just got 15 cents extra credit. So I'm out of the trade. Trade is done. 50 cents credit plus the 15. That's a little bonus trade. So 0.50, and this gave me an extra 15 cents. So my net position was plus 65 cents on the trade. If price comes back into here, and this is what we have to watch for the last, this is what's crazy about the butterflies. You know, this could be a regular butterfly or a broken wing butterfly, but that profit trap is so sensitive. It's not, I mean, not a bad way, but like, man, it's crazy sensitive. So, you know, for me taking the extra 15 cents, if I wait another, I don't know, let's look at it. So if I go to this trade here, right now it's trading for a 15 cent credit. If I sit here for another, I don't know, let's say another 12 minutes by 3:45 p.m., if we're trading at 58.45, I'm sorry, 58.25, I'll give you the exact numbers on this. 58, okay, 58.25 is still worth the same 50 cents we took, okay? 58.26 is 1 point, but that's going to be an extra $1 of credit on this trade. 58.27 is going to be an extra $2 of profit on the trade. 58.28 is going to be an extra $3 on the trade. And you guessed it, 58.29 is $4 on the trade, and 58.30 is my pin price. That's my max profit at $5. Okay. Now we're trading right now at 58.23. So if we're at 58.23, there's no extra credit on the trade. So what I just did is I closed out for an extra 15 cents. Okay. So that gives me 65 cents on the trade. It's a winner for the day. I'm happy with that. If I sit here and watch this till the end of the day, you know, perhaps price goes up a little bit and works into these kind of bonus levels because we are now in the last 25 minutes of trading. So if it goes into these areas, then there's a lot of extra profit. And it's crazy to think like, yep, like 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. It's a big jump in profit. Now it's up to 25 cents credit. Now it's 30 cents credit, right? See how that jumps around? So if price is coming back into that profit trap, that's where that broken wing really does the magic. But you can see that it's very, very late in the day. Does that make sense? So I want to keep an eye on it just to see, like, you know, could I have held it a little bit longer? Could I have gotten a little bit more bonus credit? But I'm going to put an update here in Telegram. Update the SPX broken wing or skip strike butterfly. So the entry filled at 50 cents, closed at 15 cents credit. So they're both credit. Net profit equals 65 cents profit per contract. As this trade comes to the final 30 minutes, it's showing 20 cents extra credit for, here are the bonus levels. If you're holding to the very end, 58.25, no extra credit. 58.26 equals $1 extra credit. 58.27, $2 extra credit. 58.29 or 8, $3 extra credit. 58.29, $4 extra credit. 58.30, $5 extra credit, perfect pin. Okay. And if we did 58.31, you still have some profit. Okay, it's still a profit trap, but you'll have their $4 extra credit. You're just going to see it going down. 58.32 is still $3 extra credit, and 58.33 is $2 extra credit. 58.34, $1 extra credit, and no, that's right. And then 58.35 is no extra credit. Okay, so I'm out of the trade, and price looks like it's going lower. Well, I guess it's hanging out right around 58.25. So we're close. We got another 22 minutes. I'm just curious, like I'll wait until close on this one and see like where did this actually, like what's the best we could have done? Because a lot of times, what I don't mind doing is what I just did. I take the 15 cents bonus, I open it for credit, close it for credit. I get a little extra juice on that one. That's fine. If I were to look at this and we're watching this for the next 22 minutes and this thing were to settle in at like $1 extra, $2 extra, well, that's why it's helpful to take this all the way to the very, very end of the day. But just understand there's risk, right? I mean, the profit trap and the pin is not really what I'm going after. It's a nice little bonus to have, but it's not really what I'm going after. Okay. So you're still getting 20 to 25 cents extra on the trade right now. If you took it with you this morning, I closed it out for 15. I'm going to update the tracker here. So exit for 65. So that's 65 times 2. That's $130. Okay, and we still have one SPX trade running. We have a new SPX and SPY trade running. Took that broken wing today for a nice little profit. Now it's up to 20 to 30 cents credit. Even though this is wild too. Price is at 58.22. So you can see like you're getting some extra credit even though you're not really in that bonus territory. It's nice because we're just coming in late in the day. Here is the profit trap right there. So the real credit is going to be the bonus credits in the profit trap. So the fact that we're getting like 25 to 30 cents extra right now is like pretty nice. And if price does go higher, then that's where the big bonus comes in. There you go. Papa John. Yeah, that was a great trade, man. 160 credit at the open and stop for a 25 cent credit. So you end up making 185 in the day. That's fantastic, dude. Yeah, that's a great trade, man. So let me ask you this. When you got the trade for $1.60, how did you get filled for $1.60? Were you late when I posted the trade? Were you like taking it later in the day? Did you wait for just to see if credits would come up to like $1 or better? I'm just curious, like what made you wait? Obviously, it's a good trade. It's a great trade. I'm happy for you. I'm just curious, like you're 90 cents or $1.10 different than me. So did you just happen to see it later in the day? It's a nice nice little bonus. Trump said he's going to announce the UFO stuff at the JFK Files Truth Social. Ugh, I don't care. I'm not trading that thing at all. I traded that thing pre-election, made some money on it. I could care less about DJT. There's going to be no liquidity to like get in or out. The spreads are going to be awful. I would be very, very careful on that. I would do defined risk only. I don't know. Yeah, so you just got it when you saw it. Got it. Yep, good trade, man. Okay, so back to the broker. Right now it's offering mid-price about 25 to 30 cents. Not a bad little bonus. So as it's updating here, as the trades come to the final 20 minutes, it's showing an extra 30 cents credit. Here are the bonus levels. So we'll see what it does. Okay. But like I said, I'm trying not to be too greedy and say like, oh, I should have. It's like, because look, this is how frustrating it can be. It's a call fly. So price is here and I have my call fly like that, right? If all price does is this, where it's hanging out here, and then it goes back down, and then it goes back up, and it goes back down. If price goes this way and it blows through 58.30, I mean, I still have some points to work with, but you can see here, like, not a lot, So I mean, it's just really, really close to that last little bit. So I'm just gonna, take the bonus trade and move on. All right, there you go, Anthony. Open the trade for 65 cents credit, close it later for $1.55 credit. You sure about that? I would double check your credits and debits there, man. If you did a broken wing or skip strike, I don't know how you're getting $1.55. I'm not seeing that trade right now. So let me make sure you didn't close that for $1.55 debit and take a loss on it. Because you're looking at the same real price I am. This is a 25 to 30 cent credit on the broken wing skip strike, which means it's in this area, but I'm only getting like 20 to 30 cents. So how you got $1.55 out of that, that means that the real price would have to be at 58.27 or so. And I don't think that's going to get filled there. So I would double check your credits and debits, man, just to be on the safe side. I don't think you close it out for $1.55. Yeah, I don't think you close out for $1.55 credit. I think if you open for a credit, hopefully you didn't close that at a debit, because that would suck. But the price has to be at 58.20. So here's what you're telling me. Price would have to be at 58.26.55. So if it's 5826.55, there is your 155 credit on top of the credit you took for the original trade. But we haven't seen that, nor have we had enough time in the trade. Now it's trading at 35 to 40 cents credit. So again, the final minutes of trading today, they're at 30 cents credit, 40 cents credit. Like, that's a good bonus, right? That's a good bonus. All right. So I'll keep this over here. I just updated the tracker. We're good on that one for a nice little win. Morning SPX Iron Condor still at minus $8. What? How's it at minus 8? I only went 5 wide. What trade are you talking about? And I didn't do a 0 DTE, right? The only 0 DTE I did today was a broken wing butterfly, which is what I'm walking you through right now. Okay, the trade I took this morning on SPX was a Feb 28. 1, 2, 3, 4. I took that trade and entered it for $1.30 today. So I've got the it's this one. That broken wing is closed out. Feb 28, Feb 28. So that's pending for close. That's pending for close. I don't know what you're talking about with the morning SPX Iron Condor. I didn't do a 0 DT this morning. I only did the broken wing butterfly. So Popal, what's the trade you're talking about? And then I'll go back to SPX and see. I'm just curious. I mean, this is what's kind of fun about the butterflies or the broken wings is, you take these all the way to the very, very end of trading. Always curious, like, what these things are trading for. Now it's at 45 cents credit, 30 cents credit, 40 cents credit. Again, we're in the bonus trap, which is nice. So we're right at 58.25. That's not a bad spot. We're kind of pinning that price. 58.30 is the maximum profit. So we might see how this settles in for the next 14 minutes, but either way, you're getting some bonus profit. Okay. So it's not at $8. It's at $1.10. This one. Give me the legs. Is this the one that you're talking about? I got filled for one at like $1.25. Which one is it? So the 56, yeah, this one here I got filled for $1.25. It's trading for $1.20, $1.15. I need a little bit more time in this one. We entered that trade on January 6th. So it's only been 7 days. So if we get another, little chopper like IV move for CPI and PPI, and then things just kind of stay choppy and noisy, like, this trade's totally fine. This should be profitable this week, or maybe close out by tomorrow. Who knows? A little more time helps. So yeah, it's only trading for like $1.10. I mean, I'm profitable on the overall trade, but I want to try to close it out at the appropriate debit. And this one here for $1.30, trying to get close out there for $1.10. So I'm upside down about 20, 30 cents on the trade. Okay. All right, so new trade in on IWM. What are the trades that I put in this morning? I did stocks options. I did a new trade on Tesla. I guess did I enter that trade? Hang on a second. SPY. I put in a new trade. Oh, shoot. Gosh darn it. Copy this one. I need to do a new trade on Tesla. There we go. So where's my Tesla? Here's Tesla. There. I put that in the wrong column. So my futures trade, I'm going to delete this one. So edit message and delete message. Yep, delete. All right, so my trade on futures this morning, I did a 111 on ES for 975 credit. So I've got about a $477 income opportunity. I've got a profit trap of almost $3,000. There's some leverage required. I put in a long put that's out of the money for a hedge as well, just in case things get really nasty. But hopefully it's just some income trading on that one. Okay, now we're trading up to 50 cents credit. I'll put another update here for the final. We'll say the final 15 minutes. We're showing an extra 60 cents credit. So not bad. If you got in for 50 cents and you got an extra 50 to 60 cents to show for it, that's pretty good. And I'm just curious, at the end of the day, we got another 10 minutes here, like how much higher does this level get? And the nice thing is it's not even in the profit trap right now. It's not even in the profit trap, but we're so close to the profit trap. At 22, we're only 2.5 to 3 points off it. Like getting that extra bonus credit's freaking sweet. And we don't even have to be spot on with the pin price. But there will be a time that by the time it cash settles, this will be zero. So if you're not taking the generosity here, eventually this will become zero, and you're just going to be left with the original trade. So we're jumping up here to 58.25. There's another 50, 60. There's 80 cents. Now there's 70 cents credit, 60 cents credit, right? So let me ask this. Type in a wire yes in the chat. If just walking through like step by step in the broke wing butterfly, do you understand what these numbers are telling you? Like right now, we should have $2.66 of real credit at the end of this trade. If we let this thing cash settle, we should have extra money on the trade. But that does require us to wait an extra 10 minutes. But right now, this thing's offering like 65 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. You can see it jumps around quite a bit. The fills aren't great. The bid ask is a little wider than I'd like it to be, but you're still getting bonus credit, which is a lot better than watching this thing be at risk. But right now at 58.29, I'm not loving the 58.29 because if we go a little bit past 58.30, now look at it. Now it's back to a debit. Now it's back to a credit. Now it's back to a debit. This is not what I wanted to see. This is why I closed the trade out. So right now it's trading at a 15-cent debit, which means if I close it out here, now it's a 25-cent debit. 40-cent debit. That's because it is going past our profit trap, right? Now it's on the other side of the profit trap. Now it's still a profit trap. If you let this thing cash settle, we should still get some bonus money. The risk comes into this trade if we are greater than 58.35, then we are losing money. Okay? The real risk comes in around 58.35, right there. Does that make sense? So we're still okay for a profit trap, but this thing has to settle in the next 9 minutes. But if we come in where if this vertical line is into this red zone, anything greater than 58.35, we're taking on heat on this trade. So that's why I'm okay. Yeah, real price, I've got 58.31, 58.31.70. That's real price. Okay, I've got a 5-cent debit here, 58.32.04, 58.39.95, or 58.31.95. So I'm watching it. Now we're back up to a 30 to 40 cents credit. Like this thing in the last 8 minutes will be like very, very volatile if it jumps around. So if price jumps, higher or falls back, like, we're going to see a lot of price movement. Now it's at 60 cents credit, 45 cents credit, 70 cents credit. So anyway, I'm literally like calling play by play here on the price, but you can see how crazy it is towards the end. Okay, so it should be cash settled at 4 p.m. The one thing I also don't want to do is try to take this thing into any post hours. This should be done and closed at 4 p.m. Wherever the strike is closing, that's where it should be settled by your broker. That's if you're holding it that long. I would, again, I'm already out of the trade. I'm okay. I'm okay with the 15-cent bonus credit. It would have been nice to grab an extra 40 to 50 cents. It was there. We saw as much as 60 to 70 cents extra credit. So would I have been happy with that? Yep. I would have been pretty happy with that. And then, not worried about it. But right now you're going to see here, we got 7 more minutes. We'll watch this until the very, very end and see where it actually settles for the day. Now it's back up to 40 to 50 cents, back to 20 cents, 5 cents. Very, very interesting right around that 58.30 handle, which if I look at the charts here, 58.30. So the reason I played 58.30 was because of this close right here. So this level right there and that 58.30, I was like, okay, well, if price comes up to acknowledge that gap and then fade, I want that to be where I'm kind of in the top intraday, right? And so now that we're pushing up into that, I don't love that. That just shows that the bulls are trying to fight back pretty hard after, a gap lower and close on Friday, gap lower to open today, and then pushing back and fading back in. We're right back at a critical spot where this market can go either direction going into PPI, CPI news this week. Okay, here we are, 58.30. Price is doing exactly what we want it to do. If you're trading a butterfly or a broken wing butterfly, it's doing exactly what you want it to do. Now you're seeing a trade at 75 to 80 cents credit. Here you go. There is 75 cents credit, 60 cents credit. That's all bonus credit, by the way. 90 cents credit. Like, this is where the getting's good. And the reason we're talking through this so thoroughly is because this is a lesson for how long you would have to wait to get those butterfly traps to pay. A broken wing butterfly takes a lot longer to get that bonus trap than the standard butterfly. Okay, a standard butterfly, you can make like 100% gain or 150 to 200% gain because a lot of those regular butterfly spreads you can set up for like a 5 to 1 or an 8 to 1 or a 9 to 1. And those have a lot more runway to get you into like a nice profit trap. But the broken wing, because I'm taking on that risk side, you got to wait until the very, very, very end of the day, which I don't love, right? So, we had a good level today, had an opportunity for some bonus credit. Now look at it. 58.35 and change. Now you're seeing it's taking on more debit. Now it's $1 debit. Now you're losing on the trade. SPY just filled for profit. Actually, no, I take that back. That was the waterfall income trade. I closed out for a $1 debit. That's a loss. Never mind. I already marked that one. Never mind. When did you say the waterfall income trade and the SPY? Feb. So John, if you have the Feb 21 or anything in February, I'm keeping those trades open. So if you're in my waterfall class, this is what I did with the trades today. This is what I managed. Let me see. So I managed this today's exit. This would have been a 113 exit. Okay, and this one was a 113 exit. And this one was a 113 exit. So I took a 2 losses on the SPY and 1 on the Qs today. But those are all January expirations. Which one is that then? The February 21st. What's the line item on the tracker, John? Help me out. The 603 by 602. This one closed out today as well. That is closing. Held that one for a moment, man. That one sucked. So, it's like time is on our side, but we only had we must have gone out like 55 or 60 days because usually we're doing like a 40 to 50 day window. So I took those losses. It's fine. The trade you're looking at, you said a 21st and 25th. Let me go to 2.21. So the 590 by 589, it's still open. The 590 by 589, 590 by 589 did close for profit. This one did hit my profit target. I got a 33 cents credit, closed it for 23 cents. That was profit. I still have one more in here, though, the 590 by 589. I still have that one open till the 21st. So Feb 21, 589 by 588, right there. That one is still open. So, I mean, this is SPY trading at 581. Can this thing go up 7 or 8 points in the next 39 days? Of course. So there's still some profit opportunity there. I just want to close out any of the trades I was in where the SPY was greater than 600. Okay, anything where the SPY was greater than 600, the probability of profit was like 2%. So I'm just going to take the loss and move on. For today's SPX, look at this thing. Today's SPX, it is now trading for a $2 debit. That's how slippery this thing is in the final minutes of trading. So we are beyond our pin price, and now you're taking on all the extra. This is an extra $8 of heat on this trade. Now you could still close this for $1.50, $1.45 and take less of a loss. You take a net like $100 loss or so, but that is why we just took the trade off when we did. Okay, so honestly, like full transparency, and I know we like play-by-play it, and some of you are like, just do some analysis. I don't care about this broken wing butterfly. Well, I do. And this is a good lesson to walk away with, like how price sensitive this thing was for a 0 DTE. We went from having, 60 to 70 cents of extra credit, bonus credit on the trade, to now being upside down $100 to $200 a contract. That's a big swing in like 15 to 20 minutes of trading. So it is a good lesson. And we look at real price. What did price do today? It went down 50 plus points. So we had a 58.26 down to 57.74. Let's do the math on that. So 58.76, 58.26 down to 57.74 is a 52-point swing to the downside. And then you go from 57.74 to the push up of 58.35. You have a 61-point swing to the upside. That's a lot of volatility for a Monday and what's supposed to be like a slow, rangy Monday. So that's a lot of intraday stuff, man. 50 plus points to the downside, 60 points to the upside. Could have been bigger, but man, that's a lot of chop. And price just settles in, and where are we looking at for the day? All right. Right now, this would cash settle for out of the money. You'd be down about $100 on the trade. So you take in your 50 cents credit. It settles in at 58.36. That would be a $1.25 loss. Okay, now you take the $1.25 loss minus the 50 cents. You're only losing about 60 cents net on the trade. But the difference is, because we managed it, we ended up getting 50 cents on the initial trade, close out for a bonus 15 cents, which was paying up to about 75 cents as we were watching this today. And so anywhere between about 65 cents on the contract to about $1.25 on the contract was our broken wing butterfly today. So BWB, broken wing butterfly, had the potential to pay 65 cents to $1.25 per contract. Not bad for an intraday 0 DT. Or you can do it like Papa John and grab your $1.60 plus the extra 25 cents and end up making $1.85. And the student becomes the teacher. All right, good stuff. So, all right, we can move on. It's closing bell. Updated for my waterfall tracker. Updated for my daily profit play tracker. We have a lot of good winners here. I mean, as I noted last week with daily profit play, we've had 7 for 7 on the daily profit play. Plus, you throw in 2 bonus trades. We're actually 9 for 9. So I'll update this. Give me a thumbs up emoji. Thumbs up if you grabbed some bonus credit on this trade. My close was a net was 50 cents plus 15 cents for 65 cents credit. we watched during final hour and saw the profit trap credit trading as high as 90 cents credit. Okay. But by the end of the day, this trade was trading at a $1.20 loser if you didn't manage it. So we have a nice little streak going. We're 9 for 9 with the longer DTE. Actually, I'll just put this. We're 7 for 7 with the longer DTE daily profit play strategy. And we are 2 for 2 on skip strike butterfly. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Alrighty. Tried to close but didn't get filled in time. Don, did you get filled at all or no trade at all? I mean, the 50 cents was not a great trade. You know, I could have probably put in a pending order, and I will make a note of this. So if we do future broken wing butterflies or skip strikes during a daily profit play, or if I post those for like a daily alert, I will probably minimum credit would be 50 cents. Minimum. Ideally, I would say I'd like to get like $1 or better. So, I mean, $1 is not too bad because if I go 5 wide, I'm only risking like $400. If I go 10 wide, I'm risking $900. But the probability of profits are pretty high when I take these broken wings. Plus, I've got some pretty good market maker levels. I mean, when I look at my software, I mean, looking at the levels today, I mean, the market maker stepped in. It's like this was the directional move. That's your liquidity hunt. And the market maker stepped in to defend that 5,800 zone. Right? I mean, it dropped a little bit lower. We were down to 57.70, but the market makers did what they typically do, which is force direction to be directionless, and all of a sudden the market settles in pretty much right where it started from Friday's close. Right? So anyway, I mean, broken wings are really good for setups where I can get a bottom or get a top and grab some extra profit trap. You can see in order for the profit trap to really occur, you got to wait till like the final, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. It gets a little crazy. If I did a broken wing trade, this would have been another example. We can consider this too. I don't know what exactly it would have paid, but let's say the price was down here and we had a market maker trade. Well, if I did a 0 DTE and it was just a butterfly spread, let's say that I did I sell 2 at 58.30, okay? And then I go 5 points wide or 10 points wide. I'm not sure what the debit would have been, but if I did like a 58.30, get rid of this arrow. And then I do the 58.35 and then the 58.25 right there. That would have had the opportunity. I would have imagined that would trade less than $1 debit. So less than $1 debit, and later in the day, that probably had the potential to pay $2. Okay. So I might actually go back and look at Thinkorswim software and see how this one traded through the later part of the day. And if by like 3 p.m., this actually would have closed out for a nice little winner. So if at around opening bell, if I put in this trade for a gap fill, let me see if we can do that here. Well, probably not because the data is so fresh. I'd have to look at it tomorrow. So I'll put that as a to-do list. Let's see if we can go back and look at Thinkorswim and get this intraday tick data. So I'll do that and see like would a broken wing butterfly, we're fine. We ended up making some money on the broken wing, but would a regular butterfly spread for the day with a gap fill, would that regular butterfly spread have done better because price did do a pretty good job of coming back to it? Now, it still wouldn't have been a winning trade if I tried to pin it, because if my top number was 58.35, then what did I lose on the trade? I still lost $1.11 based on the settlement price, right? So I still would have had to manage this trade prior to the close in order to get any type of bonus profit. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about that more tomorrow. But some new trades. Tesla new trade. Got everything squared away with waterfall. Took a few losses, which is fine. So we're now 35 for 39 on the waterfall service. So 35 out of 39 live trades since the service started. So we're still 89.7% on my, trying to think here. Since we came into the new year, we're racking up, we're 9 for 9 in the new year with daily profit play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I took one small loss on the second. Okay, so I guess we're technically 9 for 10. 9 for 10 with 3 trades open. I'm okay with that. And that keeps the streak alive, man. And we've had we're like 60, I think we're like 70 for 79 right now. Something like that. Maybe it's tighter. I was 61 for 66. And then we added another 9 for 10. So what would that be? If I do 61 for 66 and I add 9 winners out of 10 trades, so I'm 70 for 76. Is that right? Yeah. So still at 92%. That's a good little streak on daily profit play. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. More to talk about tomorrow. Before I go, though, let me do a quick update on the schedule this week. We do have an exciting schedule. I do have one day off this week on Friday. I will be gone. Let me double check a couple of things here. And I got a big question. I got the company CEO asking me about where the market's going. I'll give him a little discussion. So it's so close. I mean, we are like on the brink of, do we flush lower? And look, I think the buying opportunity is this. I think I'd like to almost experience more pain up front and then get ready for a correction, as opposed to the market stops going down, goes all the way back up here, and then we're just dealing with just garbage chop suey with the threat of risk and the threat of a downturn and the threat of this floor breaking. If we sit here all year and this market just sits at like, okay, we filled the election gap and the market's going to rally from there. If the market does that all year and all we did in 2025 was had a 5 to 7% pullback, I don't know. I don't think this necessarily means like 20% upside, but I'd almost think that the pain and the reality check of something in the bond market, something with the US 10-year yield, something with the inverted yield curve and the disinverted yield curve, something with higher inflation, like all these things they're obvious. They're building up. I don't know if the market's able to climb the wall of worry, but earnings season would have to be like the only real catalyst to bring things up to it. So anyway, let me do a quick update on the schedule this week. So I do have some special events. So let's talk about those. Let me take a look at my calendar. Let's go here. So I'll just type this in. So schedule for, let's see, I've got normal schedule on Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's go Wednesday. So I guess I'll look at like bonus sessions. Okay, so bonus sessions, 4 p.m. Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time is going to be a double up webinar, and that's for non-students. So I'll put prospective students. So prospective members. Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, I have a roundtable on Trump and 2025 outlook. That's going to be myself, Roger Scott, Jeffrey Turnmeyer. I think Graham Lindman will be with me. I think Lance Abolito will be with me. Maybe Nate Tucci. Or there's going to be like 6 or 7 of on the panel. So a full panel discussion. Okay, and then Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, I have another double up webinar. Prospective members. And then Thursday should be business as usual, but I've got a flight out of here, so Thursday evening is flight back to Michigan, and I am out of office Friday, so no live sessions Friday. So no final hour, no daily profit play, no YouTube stuff. Double up alerts. Is that a webinar? Oh, I got to cancel that. I got to get that changed or move it to Thursday or Saturday. Oh, fudge. I gotta move that. Is that a webinar? Yeah, I got to move that. All right, I'll get that moved. So that's bonus session this week. So I'll keep mentioning this. Everything should be fine, business as usual for the normal workday through Thursday, and then I'm heading out Friday, out of the office Friday, and I'll probably be coming back late Saturday or early Sunday. So all right, let's come back and do it again tomorrow. Any questions for the day? What about Monday? Monday's fine. I'll be back Monday. Yeah, I'll be back on the weekends. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I'll let you go for today. I'm going to get after a little summary here for the team, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Oh, you're asking Monday? Yeah. I mean, if markets are closed, we can still have a session and prep. It's fine. I mean, if I'm back and I'm in the office, we can talk about the markets. Inauguration, MLK Day. If markets are closed, we'll have a look. But yeah, I don't mind doing a live session. There might not be a trade for us to take for like daily profit play, but I still want to talk. So we'll talk Monday morning either way. But we got this whole week, man. Let's just have a good week trading. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Thanks. Bye.